He had seen every kind of performance imaginable, but when this woman walked onto the stage carrying the extraordinary ability to hear human hearts beating from across a room and decode the emotional secrets they carried, Simon Cowell realized he was about to witness something that would redefine what it means to listen to the rhythm of human experience. The America's Got Talent theater hummed with familiar energy, but tonight there was an undercurrent of intimate anticipation mixed with profound curiosity, as if the audience sensed they were about to experience something that challenged their understanding of emotional privacy, human connection, and the hidden cardiovascular language that revealed authentic feelings beneath conscious control. Her name was Maria Santos, 32 years old, walking carefully toward center stage, despite carrying a rare auditory condition that had transformed her relationship with human emotion in ways that medical science was still struggling to understand. Maria possessed hyperacute cardiac sensitivity, the ability to detect and interpret heart rhythms from remarkable distances, allowing her to read emotional states with an accuracy that seemed to transcend normal human perception. Maria wore a simple white dress that suggested both purity and accessibility, though there was something in her posture that indicated she was constantly processing auditory information about the cardiovascular states of everyone around her. Her hyperacute cardiac sensitivity had created a neurological configuration that functioned like emotional sonar, capable of detecting authentic feelings through the involuntary rhythm changes that accompanied genuine human emotions. Maria had discovered her extraordinary cardiac detection abilities during nursing school, when she began noticing that she could identify patient distress, fear, or comfort levels by listening to subtle changes in heart rhythms that were imperceptible to normal hearing. What started as enhanced clinical intuition had evolved into something far more profound: the ability to detect and interpret emotional states through cardiovascular patterns that revealed authentic feelings regardless of what people claimed to be experiencing. Maria represents one of the most fascinating cases of hyperacute auditory processing, combined with cardiovascular sensitivity we've documented. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the cardiologist who had worked with Maria for 8 years, had explained to colleagues studying sensory processing disorders. Her condition doesn't just involve hearing heartbeats more clearly. She can detect subtle rhythm variations, rate changes, and pressure fluctuations that correspond to specific emotional states with remarkable accuracy. The discovery of Maria's emotional detection abilities had occurred during her work as a cardiac nurse, when she realized that she could predict patient anxiety attacks, emotional breakthroughs, and relationship conflicts by monitoring the cardiovascular patterns she could hear even when patients appeared calm on the surface. When Maria listens to someone's heartbeat, she's not just hearing circulation, she's detecting authentic emotional information that the person might not consciously recognize. Dr. Rodriguez had noted in research papers about her case, her hyperacute cardiac sensitivity allows her to identify fear, love, deception, joy, grief, and other emotions through the involuntary cardiovascular responses that accompany genuine feelings. As Maria's emotional detection abilities had developed, she discovered that different emotions created distinct cardiovascular signatures that she could identify with scientific precision. Fear created rapid, irregular patterns. Love generated steady, warm rhythms. Deception caused subtle, arrhythmic fluctuations, and deep sadness produced slow, heavy beats that seemed to carry the weight of emotional pain. Maria had initially been overwhelmed by her cardiac detection abilities, finding it difficult to ignore the constant stream of emotional information that people's hearts revealed about their authentic feelings. But as she learned to work with her abilities constructively, Maria realized that her cardiovascular sensitivity could become a tool for helping people understand and express emotions they might struggle to acknowledge or communicate directly. I discovered that my cardiac sensitivity wasn't just about hearing heartbeats, it was about understanding the emotional truth that people carry in their cardiovascular system, Maria had explained to Dr. Rodriguez. When I listen to someone's heart, I can hear feelings that they might not even know they're experiencing. Maria's emotional detection work had begun attracting attention from both medical and therapeutic communities when her assessments were tested with patients undergoing counseling and relationship therapy. Psychologists were amazed by her ability to identify hidden emotional conflicts, while cardiologists were fascinated by the connections she revealed between cardiovascular patterns and psychological states. Maria's cardiac sensitivity represents a new form of emotional assessment that bridges physical medicine and psychological understanding. Dr. Jennifer Martinez, a specialist in psychosomatic medicine, had observed. Her ability to detect authentic emotions through cardiovascular patterns could revolutionize how we understand the relationship between physical health and emotional well-being. But Maria's most remarkable discovery was that her emotional readings seemed to help people become more aware of their own authentic feelings. When she shared what she detected through their cardiovascular patterns, people often experienced emotional clarity and improved self-understanding that enhanced their relationships and personal growth. Maria's heartbeat readings help people recognize emotions they weren't consciously aware of experiencing, explained Dr. Michael Chen, who studied the therapeutic applications of her work. When she describes what someone's heart is revealing about their authentic feelings, it often leads to emotional breakthroughs that traditional therapy approaches take much longer to achieve. Maria had begun incorporating therapeutic elements into her cardiac detection practice, using her ability to read emotional states through heartbeats to help couples understand each other's authentic feelings, assist individuals in recognizing hidden emotions, and support grief counselors in identifying patients who needed additional emotional support. This led Maria to wonder whether her cardiac detection abilities could reach larger audiences, whether her demonstration that authentic emotions could be heard through cardiovascular patterns could benefit people who had never considered how much emotional truth their own hearts revealed through rhythmic changes they couldn't consciously control. Dr. Martinez had suggested that Maria consider sharing her work on a larger platform to raise awareness about the emotional information that existed within cardiovascular patterns and the ways that enhanced cardiac sensitivity could become a tool for improving emotional communication and understanding. Maria represents a new paradigm for understanding emotion and cardiovascular health, Dr. Martinez had argued. Her work could help people recognize that their hearts are constantly communicating emotional truth, and that learning to listen to those cardiovascular messages could improve both physical health and emotional relationships. Standing now backstage at AGT, Maria felt the familiar assessment of the cardiovascular environment around her, cataloging the excitement, nervousness, anticipation, and various emotional states flowing through the audience, production crew, and judges through their distinct heart rhythm patterns. Tonight, she would attempt to demonstrate that authentic emotions could be detected through cardiovascular patterns, that hyperacute cardiac sensitivity could reveal emotional truth that people might struggle to express or recognize, and that the intersection of enhanced hearing and emotional understanding could create profound connections between human beings. She carried no medical equipment or technological aids. Her entire performance would emerge from her natural ability to detect and interpret the heart rhythms of randomly selected audience members, demonstrating that emotional truth could be heard through the involuntary cardiovascular patterns that accompanied authentic feelings. The audience's reaction was immediate curiosity mixed with intimate nervousness. Here was someone whose abilities suggested she could hear the emotional truth that their hearts were revealing, regardless of what they claimed to feel or tried to hide. Simon leaned forward, sensing that Maria's presence represented something more significant than typical. Demonstration of unusual abilities, someone whose story would challenge assumptions about emotional privacy, authentic feelings, and the cardiovascular language that revealed truths about human experience. "Hello, Maria," Simon said gently, immediately noticing that she seemed to be processing auditory information about his own cardiovascular state. "My name is Maria Santos," she began, her voice carrying the gentle authority of someone who had learned to transform overwhelming sensitivity into healing capability. I have hyperacute cardiac sensitivity, which means I can hear heart rhythms from across a room and detect the emotional states that different cardiovascular patterns reveal. Tonight, I want to demonstrate emotional detection through cardiac reading, the ability to identify authentic feelings by listening to the involuntary heart rhythm, changes that accompany genuine emotions. What you'll witness isn't medical diagnosis or psychological manipulation, it's enhanced cardiac sensitivity being used to reveal emotional truth that people carry in their cardiovascular system. Simon felt something shift in his understanding of what he was about to witness. This wasn't going to be a performance about medical abilities. This was someone who could potentially hear the emotional truth that people's hearts revealed, regardless of what they consciously claim to feel. You're saying you can detect people's authentic emotions by listening to their heartbeats? One of the judges asked with obvious fascination mixed with slight apprehension. Maria nodded with gentle confidence. Different emotions create distinct cardiovascular signatures that I can identify with scientific accuracy. Fear generates rapid, irregular patterns. Love creates steady, warm rhythms. Deception causes subtle, arrhythmic fluctuations. Deep contentment produces slow, peaceful beats. Most people aren't conscious of how their emotional states affect their cardiovascular patterns, but their hearts are constantly communicating authentic feelings through rhythm changes. What you're about to experience is the emotional truth that your cardiovascular system reveals, even when you might not consciously recognize what you're feeling. Maria positioned herself at center stage and requested that several audience members be randomly selected for emotional detection through cardiac reading. Without any background information or previous interaction, she would demonstrate her ability to identify authentic emotional states by listening to heart rhythm patterns. The first volunteer was brought onto the stage, a middle-aged man who appeared calm and confident on the surface. Maria spent approximately 30 seconds listening to his cardiovascular patterns from several feet away before beginning her emotional assessment. I'm detecting a heart rhythm that indicates underlying anxiety mixed with excitement, Maria said, focusing on the subtle patterns she could hear. Your cardiovascular system is revealing nervousness about being in front of this audience, but also genuine enthusiasm about something positive that's happening in your personal life. The volunteer's expression changed immediately to one of surprised recognition. Your heart is also showing patterns associated with recent emotional healing. The steady, strengthening rhythm that occurs when someone has resolved a significant relationship conflict or overcome a major personal challenge within the past few months. The audience was completely silent as Maria continued her cardiac reading, identifying emotional states with uncanny accuracy that the volunteer confirmed as true, but had not shared publicly. There's also a cardiovascular pattern that indicates you're carrying protective feelings, the rhythm that occurs when someone is emotionally committed to supporting a family member or close friend through a difficult situation. The volunteer confirmed that every aspect of Maria's emotional reading was remarkably accurate, including his recent recovery from a difficult divorce, his excitement about a new relationship, and his current concern for his teenage daughter who was struggling with anxiety. Maria continued with additional volunteers, demonstrating her ability to detect anxiety, contentment, hidden grief, suppressed anger, and authentic love through the cardiovascular patterns that revealed emotional truth, regardless of surface appearances. What you're witnessing, Simon explained to the audience, is enhanced cardiac sensitivity that allows Maria to hear emotional information that our hearts reveal, but that we usually can't access consciously. With each demonstration, Maria's emotional readings proved remarkably accurate, revealing feelings that the volunteers recognized as authentic, but had not consciously acknowledged or shared with others. When Maria completed her cardiac detection demonstration, the theater remained in profound silence as the audience processed not just the accuracy of what they had witnessed, but the realization that their own hearts were constantly revealing emotional truth that they might not consciously recognize. Then, applause began. Not typical entertainment appreciation, but the kind of recognition that follows profound emotional revelation, acknowledgement of having witnessed abilities that challenged conventional understanding of emotional privacy and authentic feeling. Simon stood up from the judges' table, understanding that Maria had demonstrated something far more significant than unusual hearing abilities. She had proven that authentic emotions could be detected through cardiovascular patterns, that enhanced cardiac sensitivity could reveal emotional truth that people struggled to express, and that the intersection of physical perception and emotional understanding could create profound human connections. "Maria," Simon said as he walked onto the stage, "what you've just shared challenges everything I thought I knew about emotional privacy, authentic feeling, and the ways that our bodies reveal truth about our inner experience. You haven't just demonstrated remarkable hearing, you've shown us that our hearts are constantly communicating emotional information that we usually can't access directly. You've proven that authentic feelings can be heard through the involuntary patterns that reveal who we really are beneath conscious control." Maria smiled with the gentle wisdom of someone who had learned to transform overwhelming sensitivity into emotional healing capability. "I learned that my cardiac sensitivity wasn't about invading people's privacy. It was about helping them understand the emotional truth that their own hearts were trying to communicate. When we can hear what our cardiovascular system is telling us, we can live more authentically." As the golden buzzer activated and confetti fell, Simon said, "Maria, you've proven that the most authentic emotions are often the ones we don't consciously recognize, and that extraordinary sensitivity can become a bridge that helps people understand the emotional truth that lives within their own hearts." 6 months later, Maria established the Cardiac Emotion Institute, teaching healthcare professionals to recognize connections between cardiovascular patterns and emotional states. Her techniques proved valuable for medical centers and counseling programs. Maria revolutionized how we think about cardiac health and emotional wellness, explained Dr. Rodriguez. She proved that cardiovascular patterns could reveal emotional information that enhanced both medical treatment and psychological understanding. The pulse reader who could hear hearts had demonstrated that cardiac sensitivity could become a tool for emotional healing, that authentic feelings could be detected through cardiovascular patterns, and that profound connections emerged from listening to the rhythm of truth within every human heart.